Headlines under the heading of the southern border still completely out of control. 2 young children are okay after they were dropped over the southern border wall in New Mexico. Scary night vision video of this. Customs and Border Protection saying the 3 and 5-year-old sisters were dropped over the roughly 14-foot high barrier near Sunland Park Tuesday by smugglers who then took off. Updates at least every 10 minutes in our top stories here on Good Morning Orlando.
Now on FM 94.1, still on FM 93.1, News Radio WFLA Orlando, and still on AM 540. And now for our weekly look at legal issues in the news with our in-house legal expert, Attorney Tom Olsen. This is Olsen on Law.
And along with the Bud Man, Melissa and Chris, Alan Spector here, and yes, every Thursday at this time, we bring you Olsen on Law with longtime Orlando attorney. All right, Tom, our topic this morning, the living will. What is a living will?
A living will is an end of life, don't keep me alive by artificial means, what I commonly refer to as a pull the plug document.
So is it pulling the plug just from the machines keeping people alive?
Traditionally, we think in terms of disconnecting somebody from a machine, but in Florida, you can now go further and also ask that you not be given food and water through a tube. You can also ask that you be given all the medication you need to keep you pain-free. These are all options that will be discussed with you when you're preparing a living will, and your attorney will talk to you about those options.
So these are all things you can lay out ahead of your demise to make sure things are done the way you want them to be done.
Exactly right, Alan. Over my 40 years of law practice, I've done thousands and thousands of wills and trusts, and probably less than 10 people had told me, Tom, I don't want to have a living will. I do want to be kept alive by artificial means. So stated another way, Alan, vast majority of people do want to have a living will. They don't want to be kept alive by machines.
Now, what's the difference between a living will and what we know as a DNR, a do not resuscitate order?
So a living will is as far as you can go by yourself with the help of an attorney. The Florida statutes say that we can have a living will. If you want a DNR, that is a do not resuscitate. That is something that you're going to have to get your doctor to sign off on. And here's the difference. If you only have a living will and you have some kind of illness in your home and they call out the paramedics and the ambulance, they have no choice but to keep you alive until you get to the hospital. If you have a DNR at your home and they tell you to post it on your freezer, then if that situation, if the paramedics arrive at your home, they can allow you to go naturally. They don't have to keep you alive to get you to the hospital.
Just make sure they look at the freezer first.
They know that that's where to go to.
Okay. All right. The living will. We know a little more this morning, thanks to Tom Olsen. If you have legal questions about a living will or anything else, Tom's happy to answer your questions on the Olsen on Law show. That is heard Saturdays at 1 p.m. here on News Radio WFLA Orlando. Tom, thanks very much as always, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Alan.
And remember, for all of your legal needs, call the Olsen Law Group in Orlando.